When I made it to Queensland, by that stage I'd been travelling for nearly a month. After you've been travelling somewhere every day or every other day, it really does start to take its toll on you. You start to look forward to settling down again and finding your feet. Nevertheless, I knew how much Queensland had to offer, and as the landscapes transition from dusty brown flats to luscious green rolling hills, I felt rejuvenated.
Welcome everybody to Queensland, the state where there is always still something to see. This will be the last state that I'll be visiting for the rest of 2020, as I'll shortly be settling in Brisbane for a while. We arrived earlier today, crossing the border from the Northern Territory. I'm already so excited to hit the East Coast. I'm going to be visiting some amazing places in the next few weeks. However, before we start making our way along the shore of the Coral Sea, we'll be starting a little further inland. Tomorrow morning we'll be heading out bright and early to the Atherton Tablelands, a highland region in the Great Dividing Range of Queensland. The region is over 3,000 feet above sea level, and with greater rainfall on volcanic soil, we'll be heading to much greener country again, as you can probably tell. I'm not even going to tell you what we're going to be doing tomorrow. It will speak for itself. I'll see you guys in the morning. So it's about 5:30 in the morning and we're just getting ready to drive to the Atherton Tablelands, which is why we're leaving now, so we can get there nice and early and do all of the amazing things that we're going to do today. It's not even 6 o'clock in the morning yet and it's already very hot and humid. You can feel the humidity in the air. I'm already sweating.
Can you see the humidity in the air? It's like smoke.
Okay, it's time to make a move. Let's get going. So you've probably guessed by now that we've been hopping between waterfalls today after arriving in the Atherton Tablelands. Man, it's a gorgeous place. I was not expecting to see anything like this. When we first drove here, going up the hills and through the trees and then coming out to these beautiful green landscapes, it actually reminded me a lot of home, of England. So it already feels like a very special place to us. I've seen pictures of Atherton online, but they really do not do it justice in the slightest. This creek behind me is just a small place that we found near to our campsite, which we arrived at not long ago. and we love it here so much that we've decided to stay another night. Tomorrow we're going to do an 8-hour hike to an even bigger waterfall than the ones we've seen already, called Cannabullen Falls. I do love my hiking, and the temperatures are a lot cooler here. It's around 25 degrees, which is a big relief coming from the north where it's like 40 degrees and you're sweating every day. Definitely feels nicer to be back in cooler temperatures. So I'm afraid to say you're going to have to chill with us here for another day before we head to our next stop, which is Port Douglas. We're going to go and set up camp for the night. I'll see you guys tomorrow. So we've woken up pretty early in the Atherton Tablelands, and we're just driving to our 8-hour hike to Cannabullen Falls. Yeah, you should read some of the warnings that it says on the sign. One of them's like, don't walk during the wet season.
Yeah.
Because parts of the track may like be obstructed, and there are leeches apparently as well.
Oh.
And it's just like saying how you need to have really good bushwalking experience for some of it, because people get lost and stuff like that. Yeah, you read the sign. Did you read the bit? Stay away from snakes, cassowaries, don't even know what they are, and feral pigs. And these, we need to be careful of these things, the stinging trees.
Yes, I've heard of them.
Yeah.
They're large heart-shaped leaves with spikes. It's just a small camp. It's those raspberries, those things that resemble raspberries that are part of those stinging leaves, which means there's stinging leaves nearby.
Is that a dead snake?
It's a dead snake! And it's a big snake and probably extremely venomous, and I think it's a python, but I don't know.
So we've either arrived at the Cannabullen Falls lookout, or the track is damaged because we can't find the rest of the markers that lead anywhere else. It's not quite what I was expecting. I was expecting there to be sort of like a viewpoint where you can see the huge waterfall. We can see where the waterfall drops off, so it's like we're kind of on top, but you can't really see it, which is a bit of a shame. On the plus side, this place is really beautiful, actually. It's kind of like a river in the middle of the jungle, so it's definitely been worth it. And to be honest, walking through the jungle has been a really interesting experience just in its own right. It gives you an entirely different perspective on Australia altogether, and we haven't seen any people walking here. We've been the only people doing this track. And all the places that we've been before, there's usually people there, other travellers and tourists checking out the same places. So it's interesting to see a place just in its raw natural habitat and it's almost untouched. Yeah, overall, it's been really awesome. We made it. We've made it back to the top, and now we're going to be heading on to Port Douglas, which is the gateway to the Great Barrier Reef and the Daintree Rainforest. I'm sad to say that we won't be swimming in the Great Barrier Reef because at this time of year the ocean is extremely dangerous, playing host to saltwater crocodiles and a variety of different jellyfish, including the extremely deadly Irukandji jellyfish. And the Daintree Rainforest? Well, we'll get to that a little bit later. But for now, a few stingy bastards and a few snappy bastards won't stop us from exploring all of the beautiful beaches that the town has on display. I'll see you there. So this is Port Douglas, guys, or Port Dougie to the locals. As you can probably tell, we've been hopping between different beaches today. I'm currently on 4 Mile Beach, which is the longest beach in Port Douglas. And earlier today we visited Palm Cove Beach and Newell Beach as well. It's easy to say that so far since arriving in Australia, that northern Queensland is without a doubt my favourite place. Particularly this part of the east coast where you've got the mountains behind the palm trees and the beach connected to the palm trees as well. It's just amazingly picturesque. It's making me so excited to explore the rest of the east coast and see what's going to be coming up in the next couple of weeks. Tomorrow we're heading further north through the Daintree Rainforest and up to Cape Tribulation. Make sure you do not miss the next episode, because when David Attenborough describes somewhere as the most extraordinary place on earth, you gotta believe that good old Dave is telling the truth. I'll see you soon.